Today we're tackling Finish What You Start by Peter Hollins. It's like your guide to actually turning dreams into realities.
Yeah, it's packed with practical strategies and insights on why we struggle to finish things and how to get past those obstacles.
So in this deep dive, we're going to give you the tools to turn those dreams into reality. We'll explore the main goal of the book, break down those steps, those key steps it outlines, and uncover the details that make it so effective.
Exactly. And this book doesn't rely on some magical formula. It's about understanding the real reasons we struggle to follow through and giving you actionable strategies to make a real change.
Okay, so the heart of it all, what's the main goal of the book? What problem is it trying to solve for us?
It's all about helping you understand and overcome those obstacles that stop you from finishing what you start. It goes beyond just willpower, offers a complete approach, combining tactics with powerful mindsets.
So it's not enough to just want it, right? You need a system. And
Mm.
speaking of systems, the book really emphasizes these four elements of follow through.
Right. Think of it as a recipe for success. Focus, self-discipline, action, and persistence. Each one is crucial, and they work together for awesome results.
I love the Voltron analogy from the book.
Yeah.
Each element is like one of those robots, powerful alone but unstoppable together.
Right. Focus is the head, keeps you focused on the prize, keeps that vision clear. Self-discipline, that's the spine, the backbone to keep going even when you don't feel like it.
Action, that's the hands and feet, turning those intentions into actual progress.
Hmm.
And persistence, that's the heart. That keeps you going, pushing through, refusing to give up.
It's a great way to see how they work together. You need the vision, the strength, the ability to take steps, and the determination to see it through.
And the book goes deep into why we struggle with these elements. It outlines those pitfalls, those common pitfalls. It identifies two main categories, inhibiting tactics and psychological roadblocks.
Yeah, inhibiting tactics are like sneaky ways we sabotage ourselves. Setting vague goals, procrastinating, getting distracted, struggling with managing time effectively.
It's like setting ourselves up for failure without even knowing it. Then there are those psychological roadblocks, those internal barriers that can be even tougher.
Right. Sometimes it's just plain laziness or lack of discipline. Or it's fear of judgment, of failure, or stepping outside your comfort zone.
And then there's perfectionism, right, which can really paralyze you. We get so caught up in wanting everything to be perfect that,
Yeah.
that we end up doing nothing at all. And sometimes it's just not knowing ourselves, not recognizing these patterns that keep us stuck.
The book really helps us see these obstacles, external and internal, so we can start addressing them. It's about becoming aware of those patterns and developing strategies to break free.
I really liked how the book broke down motivation, showing that there are external and internal motivators that drive us towards our goals.
Absolutely. External motivators are things like accountability partners, deadlines, rewards, or even consequences for not following through. They use external pressure and incentives.
But what I found really fascinating was the focus on internal motivators.
Mhm.
It's about connecting to that deeper meaning behind your goals, understanding why they matter to you personally.
Yeah. It's about answering questions like, what do I truly care about?
Mm.
How will this goal make my life better? What positive impact will it have?
It's like finding that inner fire that keeps you going, even when the external stuff isn't enough. Speaking of motivators, I love that section on reminders. It talked about Catherine Milkman's research, showing how even simple visual cues can really boost your follow-through.
It's amazing, right? How powerful they can be. The book says we should surround ourselves with visual cues that remind us of our goals and why they matter to us. Vision boards, quotes, photos of loved ones even.
It's like having a personal cheerleading squad.
Mhm.
And then there's this idea of creating a manifesto for follow-through.
Yeah. Imagine it as your own rules, designed to make decisions easier and guide your actions. It's about setting guidelines, so you make choices that support your goals, even when willpower is low.
Like your own productivity constitution. And the book outlines some specific rules, which we'll dive into later. But first, I'm curious about those empowering mindsets.
These are all about changing your inner dialogue and developing a mindset that supports your efforts.
They're like mental upgrades, giving you that extra boost.
Exactly. It's about reframing your thoughts and beliefs to create a more positive environment internally.
So what are some of these mindsets that can help us on this journey?
Well, one is the it's all worthwhile mindset. It's about believing your work matters, that you're making a difference, that even small steps are valuable.
Okay, and what about another one?
Another one is comfort with discomfort. This means recognizing that growth often means stepping outside your comfort zone, embracing challenges, pushing yourself.
So getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. What else?
There's learning from completion, viewing every finished project as a learning opportunity, taking those insights and using them to improve in the future.
And finally,
And finally, there's de-stress, recognizing how stress and anxiety affect our willpower and self-discipline, finding healthy ways to manage stress and create a more balanced internal environment.
it's not about being happy all the time.
Exactly. It's about building resilience, the ability to bounce back.
So we've laid the groundwork. We understand the book's goal
Mhm.
and the key elements. I'm ready to dig into those strategies. What's next?
Let's explore those practical techniques, including those manifesto rules,
Yeah.
and how to tackle procrastination. Welcome back to our deep dive. Last time we unpacked the goal and those essential elements of follow-through. Now let's explore those practical strategies, those techniques that'll help you turn dreams into reality.
I'm ready to get tactical.
Mhm.
One of the coolest things I found was this idea of a personal manifesto or follow through, like a framework, guiding your actions, your decisions.
Think of it as your productivity constitution, your own rules that help you stay on track, especially when you're not feeling motivated or those distractions start creeping in.
Okay, so let's break down those rules the book suggests. Rule number 1, the laziness check.
Yeah.
It's all about confronting those moments of hesitation, right?
Before you give up on something, just pause and ask yourself, if not for laziness or fear, would I quit?
Hmm.
Forces you to be honest with yourself, and it can be a powerful motivator.
Like holding up a mirror to your excuses. Okay, rule number 2, the rule of 3, prioritizing, focusing your energy.
Instead of the endless to-do list, focus on 3 major tasks each day. That way you don't get overwhelmed, and you make sure you're making real progress.
Quality over quantity. Love it. Rule number 3, limitations and requirements.
Setting boundaries, right?
Creating structure.
Exactly. Setting time limits for social media, maybe designating certain hours as distraction-free zones, or making a rule to finish some work before you take a break. Shaping your environment.
Taking control of your day instead of letting it control you. Okay, rule number 4, intention reaffirmation. Staying connected to that why.
Remind yourself why you're doing this, why these goals matter to you, what positive impact they'll have. The book suggests using those simple statements. I want, I will, I
Yeah.
won't.
Like a mantra to keep you focused. Okay, rule number 5, the 10-10-10 rule. Putting those temptations into perspective.
Before you give in to that urge, visualize how you'll feel. 10 minutes from now, 10 hours, 10 days. It connects your actions now to their future consequences, helps you make better choices.
Like mental time travel. And finally, rule number 6, the 10-minute rule, building discipline.
When you face temptation, delay gratification for 10 minutes. That pause can often be enough to break the urge and give you space to choose. It's simple but powerful.
A small shift, big impact. Okay, so those are the manifesto rules. But the book also dives into procrastination, a huge obstacle for a lot of us.
It explains time and consistency. The battle between our present self wanting instant gratification and our future self wanting those long-term rewards.
Two selves battling it out. And the book brings back temptation bundling. I love that.
Yeah, it's a great way to bridge that gap. You pair something fun with something you need to do. That way you're happy now, but also working towards those future goals.
Best of both worlds. And other good strategy is starting small. Small, easy increments.
When you have a big task, break it down into smaller chunks. Makes it less scary, easier to start. You shift your focus from that big picture to those first steps.
One bite at a time, right? Instead of getting overwhelmed, you just focus on that first bite.
And what's cool is once you start, you build momentum. It becomes easier to keep going.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Distractions. The book talks about creating a distraction-free environment, right, to help us focus.
It's about recognizing that our surroundings affect our choices. Clutter, easy access to temptations, even the way our workspace is organized, it all adds to that mental clutter, makes it harder to stay on track.
So it's not just about willpower. It's about setting up our environment for success.
Right. Minimize those visual distractions. Tidy workspace, clear mind. Only keep what's essential on your desk. Consider those noise-canceling headphones if sounds bother you.
A sanctuary for focus. And, we talked about tension residue, that feeling of mental clutter after switching between tasks.
The book says we should batch similar activities together. Don't constantly switch between writing, emailing, researching. Dedicate blocks of time to each one.
Makes sense, like mental compartments.
Yeah.
For different types of work, you can fully immerse yourself without those distractions from the previous task.
And it's not just for work. You can do it in your personal life, too. Batch errands, chores, even leisure activities. Create a flow. Minimize those disruptive transitions.
Being intentional. Speaking of which, let's talk about the don't-do list, identifying those time-wasting activities.
Don't-do lists are great for challenging our assumptions about what's really important. We often get caught up in urgency without thinking about the real value.
So what should we put on this list?
Start with tasks that you can't move forward on right now, projects waiting on something else, or dependent on other tasks. Sometimes letting go is the most productive thing you can do.
Okay, what else?
Then those tasks that don't really move you towards your goals, they might seem urgent, but they don't actually contribute much. It's about knowing the difference between busy work and meaningful work.
Got it. Anything else?
Yeah, those tasks that are good enough for now. You got to know when to let go of perfectionism and move on.
Okay, on to the 40-70 rule. It's about taking action even when you don't have all the answers, right?
It's a great way to fight analysis paralysis. It says if you have 40% of the information you need, start gathering more. At 70%, take action.
You'll rarely have everything you need. And waiting for the perfect moment just leads to delays and missed chances.
This rule encourages you to act, to learn and adjust along the way. Sometimes action brings clarity.
Okay. This next one sounds kind of strange. The book talks about the importance of doing nothing.
Not laziness, it's about mental recovery. Just like athletes need rest. Our minds need downtime to recharge.
It's not just working hard, it's resting smart, too.
Right. Taking time to do nothing can boost creativity, reduce stress, and make you more productive. Give your brain a chance to process information, to connect things, to come up with new ideas.
We've covered so much, from procrastination to distractions to mindsets. But where do systems fit into all this?
That's where we're headed next time. We'll delve into how to create systems for consistent follow-through, a structure that supports your goals and helps you rely less on willpower alone.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive. We've been uncovering all these secrets in Finish What You Start, right? We talked about the book's goal, the essential parts of follow-through, even how to handle procrastination and those pesky distractions. But there's one big thing left. Systems.
You got it. Systems. They're like the foundation for consistent follow-through, providing that structure so you don't have to rely on willpower alone and helping you stay on track, even when things get tough.
It's like a built-in support system, right? Guiding you, helping you make progress. So how do we actually create these systems? Where do we even start?
Well, the book, it outlines a few key strategies. Each one targets a different aspect of follow-through. And one of the simplest but most effective is keeping a scoreboard.
Oh, I love this. It's like tracking your wins, celebrating those little victories along the way, building momentum, right, to keep you going.
Exactly. It's like turning productivity into a game. You see your progress, those wins piling up, and it taps into that natural desire to achieve. Creates a positive loop to keep you engaged.
Okay, so how do we actually use this scoreboard thing? What are some tips to make it work?
First, figure out what really matters, those key metrics for you. Could be daily word count if you're writing, hours spent on a business project, number of sales calls you make, whatever's important for your goals.
So choose those metrics that actually show your progress, right? Then what?
Find a way to track them and make it visual, motivating, a chart, a spreadsheet, even a simple notebook. As long as it's easy to see those little wins adding up.
I bet it feels good to check those milestones off, watching that progress grow. Okay, let's talk about time management, a struggle for a lot of us, I think.
Yeah. People get time management wrong. It's not about cramming everything in. It's about being intentional with your time, creating a structure that supports your goals, your values.
Working smarter, not harder.
Right. And a good first step is to create routines. It doesn't have to be super rigid, but having a predictable flow to your day helps, Less decision fatigue, more efficiency.
Like having set times for email, for focused work, for breaks. Creates a rhythm, avoids those task switching moments.
Exactly. And be realistic about how long things take. Understand how much time you actually need for tasks. Factor in possible interruptions.
Be honest with yourself.
Mm.
And create a schedule that's ambitious but doable.
And of course, minimize those distractions. Create that distraction-free workspace. Be mindful of your digital habits.
Those notifications, those emails,
Yeah.
they can really kill productivity.
For sure. Set specific times for checking them. And don't be tempted to check constantly.
Okay, what about lowering transaction costs? Sounds interesting.
It's an idea from economics. It means every action has a cost. Not just money, but time, energy, willpower. And we can manipulate those costs, to make good behaviors easier and bad ones harder.
That's like a reward system for making those good choices.
Exactly. If you want to exercise regularly, make it easy. Prep your clothes, pack your bag, choose a convenient time.
And make those bad habits more difficult. If you're trying to snack less, hide those tempting snacks. Keep healthy options close. Make the good choice the easy choice.
Exactly.
Okay, one last thing. Gathering information up front.
This is about avoiding those interruptions, those momentum killers. Before you start a project, take some time, gather everything you need, information, resources, materials.
Like a chef getting everything prepped, right? Before they start cooking.
Exactly. Having everything ready helps you work efficiently, keeps you in that flow state.
This has been an awesome deep dive. So many insights from Finish What You Start. We've talked about procrastination, systems, mindset, everything.
Remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about trying things out, seeing what works for you, and adjusting along the way.
This book is a must-read for anyone who wants to turn those dreams into reality. So take what you've learned, put it into practice.
Yeah.
And start finishing those projects, big or small. Those projects that'll bring you closer to your goals.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and the motivation to conquer those unfinished projects and create a life filled with purpose and achievement.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep finishing what you start.